Matakanye from the National Association of Schools Governing Bodies. As usual, thank you so very much for joining us on SABC News. And I'll start with just really your reaction. I'll assume that you were listening quite closely to that conversation I was having with Mr. Elijah Mhlanga just before I spoke to you. What is your reaction at this time about grade R, 6 and 11 returning, only them returning to the 6th, on the 6th of July?
Thank you. Thank you very much, Lutlaba, and all your listeners. We are very happy that the minister has considered the frustrations, the complaints, the requests, and anxiety, fears that have been expressed by parents, expressed by the community, and finally expressed by the society, that schools should not allow other grades to come back at this point in time, because it is peak time, and if it is peak time, then children will go and die in schools. And hence we are so happy that the minister finally considered that now it will be only grade R, grade 6 and grade 11. And we'll know that grade 11 and grade 12 make a school. And then grade 6 and grade 7 make a school. Yeah. So because we were really worried also about the question of social distancing. Mm-hmm. The social distancing in the sense that now we know our schools, we know the size of the classes, and we were also worried, and the parents were worried in the sense that now there are no the PPEs enough for these children in schools, yeah. And so they were really frustrated. We were really frustrated as an organization, but I'm happy that finally when we tried to talk to the minister, then the minister finally listened. Yeah. And although it is not enough, we still feel that now the grades are the grade 6, the grade 11s. There must be thorough preparation in schools. They must find all the non-negotiables in schools. And we still call upon parents to say if there are not enough of those PPEs in schools, they should not allow their children to go into schools. Yes. They must make sure that as from tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, they make sure that now all these things are in schools, so that now these grades, when they arrive, they must go into the school safe and they must come back safe from schools. And that's exactly what we are saying.
So take us through really the nature of the engagements that you've had with the Department of Basic Education. I mean, we are hearing from the spokesperson, Mr. Mhlanga, that they really have sort of sought to take in and hear all stakeholders and their contributions to what to do. I mean, no doubt, you know, the Department of Basic Education is also finding themselves in a situation they've never found themselves before. So I'd really like to understand the nature of these conversations, and I suppose it would then be a case of really working together and not really pointing fingers and so forth at each other. What is the nature of those conversations? Have they been really calm and sort of understanding of each other, so that we can all really find a way forward when it comes to education in this country, which is really one of those sectors that have taken a huge knock due to this pandemic?
It is really difficult, and hence we are working with the Department of Education. We availed ourselves to say we are here as representatives of parents to come and support you, so that we know exactly where does the system lack, so that where the system lacks, then as National Association of School Government, we are able to assist. Then some of the engagement that we had with the minister was that, Minister, you know that coronavirus then needs some standards. And what are those standards? And we put the non-negotiables, that schools must have the running water. Yeah. Schools must be able to observe social distancing. Schools must have the PPEs. Schools must have all those what is needed. Schools must have people who are ensuring that now they are able to screen teachers every day. They are able to screen learners every day. They are able to screen them when they go back home. They are able to detect whether they've got the symptoms, and so that this, then they're able to work with the health department to ensure that now they are tested, and then if then they are found to be having really infected, then they must quickly be isolated. And we did talk to the department to say, finally put a plan so that now we know that when we don't operate in silos. Then the Department of Education goes this way, then we go that way. We want to know exactly what is the plan, so that when we support through your plan. We don't just support without the plan. And these are some of the engagement that we had with the minister. As you remember, that the school supposed to have reopened, this grade 12 and grade 7 supposed to have reopened on the 1st. And then we engaged with the minister. Then the minister, you remember that week was referred to as a mopping week. Then on the 8th, then schools opened. Then we continuously monitoring in our schools what was opening, where some schools opened and closed, opened and closed, opened and closed. But we are supporting what the department is doing, and we really wish everybody can support. And
All right.
this is some of the.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And
Dr.
hence we
Matakanye,
talk to the
let's leave it
go
there.
to schools and make sure.
Okay, thank you very much for giving us your time. We really do appreciate it here on SABC News. Thank you, sir. All right, that's Matakanye Matakanye from the National Association of Schools Governing Bodies. Just some reaction there regarding the decision by the Department of Basic Education to have the return of schools for only grade R, 6 and 11. And in the previous hour, of course, that was our breaking news story.